In number 15, it says, which polynomials does not have a factor of x plus 6? So what we're looking for is we need to do the factorization of each of these polynomials, and whichever one doesn't have the factor of x plus 6, we'll know that that's our answer. So let's start with the first one, answer choice A. We have 2x squared plus 7x minus 30. Depending on the way your teacher taught you this, we would take a x here, and we would do a times c, so 2 times negative 30, which is negative 60. And then from here, we would also do, bring that 7 down. So we're looking for two numbers that would multiply together to give you negative 60, but have a sum of 7. So you can start going through your factors here of like 60, like 1 and 60. Obviously, one of these has to be negative and one of them has to be positive in order to give you that negative up there. If we do 60 minus 1, that's not going to give us 7. So let's try something like 2 and 30. If we did 30 minus 2, that's still not going to give us 7. So we try maybe something like 3. 3 times 20. So if we do this, 20 minus 3 is 17. It's getting us closer, but it's still not there. 4 is a factor. We could do 4 times 15. And 15 minus 4 is 9. It's not 7. We could try 5. 5 times 12. And if we did 12 minus 5, we will get 7. So we know that these have to be 12 and 5. So which one's going to be negative? Which one's going to be positive? Well, it's got to be a positive 7. So 12 times negative 5 is negative 60. 12 plus negative 5 is 7. So now what we do is we take the first term, 2x squared, and then we have plus 12x, because that we got from one of the numbers. Then here we have minus 5x plus 7, or sorry, plus negative 30 there. So if you look at these two, 12x minus 5x gives you that 7x, and then the two remaining pieces are right there. What we're going to do is we're going to group these. So anytime that you group something, make sure you always put an addition sign between them. What's our GCF here? Our GCF is going to be 2x. So if we did 2x times x, and then 2x times positive 6, what that's going to give us is the factor x plus 6 is what it looks like, but let's keep going. Minus 5, and we're going to actually pull that out as our GCF. Negative 5 times x is negative 5x, and negative 5 times positive 6 is going to give me negative 30. Notice we have a match, so our two factors for this are 2x minus 5 times x plus 6. There's the factor of 6. A holds up. So let's keep going. In B, we have 4 terms, 4x cubed minus 24x squared minus x plus 6. We're going to go ahead and factor by grouping, so we're going to group the first two, group the second two, and remember we're going to put an addition sign between them. The GCF out of this first group right here would be a 4 and then an x squared, so 4x squared times x minus 6. And then the GCF out of this one, since there's that negative in the leading number, you need to pull out the negative, so it's like negative 1. And then negative 1 times x gives you negative x. And negative 1 times negative 6 would give me that positive 6. So in this we have 4x squared minus 1 times x minus 6. We're not done though. This is a difference of 2 squares, so we should go ahead and factor that one as well. So we're going to bring down that x minus 6. And then 2x times 2x is going to give me 4x squared. A positive 1 times a negative 1 is going to give me that negative 1. And then, of course, the middle terms would cancel out if we FOILed. So here we see the 3 factors for this particular polynomial. None of them have x plus 6. This is probably our answer, but again, we should confirm our answers by checking the other 2. This next trinomial here, we have x squared plus 2x minus 24. If we did a factor x on this, basically what we're looking for is the two numbers that would multiply together to give me negative 24, and then they would have a sum of 2. If we did 6 and 4, one of them has to be negative. Which one would be negative to give me that 2? It would be this one, because 6 times negative 4 is negative 24. 6 plus negative 4 is 2. So now, since that leading coefficient was 1, we can go ahead and go straight to our parentheses of x plus 6, that's from this number, and x minus 4, that's from this number. There's that factor of x plus 6. That one did check out. And then on the last choice, D, we have 2x to the 4th plus 12x cubed. What we see here is that this is a binomial, but it's not a difference of two squares, so really the only thing we can do is see if it has a GCF. It does have a GCF. We can take a 2 out of both of those, and the highest exponent we could take out is this one here, x cubed, because they both have an x cubed as a factor. So 2x cubed times what gives me 2x to the 4th, and that would be x. And then 2x cubed times what gives me 12x cubed, well, that's plus 6. That's a factor as well of what we're looking for. So again, this confirms our answer choice of B.